Arsenal legend Ray Parlour believes Gabriel Jesus will choose to leave the club at the end of the season. The Gunners spent over £250 million in last summer's transfer window, with Mikel Arteta assembling perhaps the strongest squad in Europe to end their long wait for silverware. While competing on four fronts for the majority of the season has ensured plenty of opportunities around the squad, some have struggled for minutes, chiefly academy star Lewis Skelly. Recent reports have claimed Arsenal may need to sell at least one first-team player this summer, with Lewis Skelly at risk alongside Gabriel Martinelli, Ben White and Ethan Nwaneri. But Parlour also believes Jesus, who has 1 year left on his contract in North London, could also ask to leave when the season comes to an end. Should the Brazil international move on, Parlour believes another striker should be on the club's shopping list this summer. I think Jesus might leave at the end of the season. He's at that age where he wants to be playing week in, week out, Parlour told Metro via Betam. We could lose him. We had 4 strikers when I played. That's what I don't understand. Regardless of Jesus leaving, bring in another one anyway. That can give the other options a lift because they see the standard being set. The Gunners believed they had ended their long search for a prolific number 9 when they signed Victor Gyökeres from Sporting CP for £64 million last July. While the Sweden international has scored 19 times in all competitions this season, he has often struggled with the demands of English football. Arsenal are among the clubs weighing up a move for Argentina international Julian Alvarez, who left Manchester City to join Atletico Madrid in the summer of 2024. That deal was overseen by Andrea Berta, now sporting director at the Emirates. Any move would require an offer in excess of €100 million, £87 million, to even tempt Atletico into doing business. Parlour, who won 3 league titles and 4 FA Cups as a Gunner, is a huge admirer and would back a move for the fantastic striker. For me, Alvarez would be a great addition to the squad. There will always be people coming and going in the summer because it's a big squad and they can't keep everyone happy. But Alvarez would be a fantastic option to have with his pace and what we saw at Man City. It was always going to be difficult for him playing with Erling Haaland there, but when he did start and when he did play, he was always lively. He's a young man too, so if he's available it's a yes for me. We know how Arteta likes to work with young players to make them better, so I think it would be a great addition, definitely. Arsenal could be open to selling up to 5 players in the summer transfer window, according to a recent article by the BBC. Andrea Berta and the club believe their extensive summer transfer splurge was enough for the club to not make as many signings in the summer, and they would now focus on the departures instead. They would still focus on a couple of signings in the summer, but their main motive will not be to bolster the squad even further. Mikel Arteta's team is already one of the best in the world, and spending cash just for the sake of it is not the best idea when a club is at the pinnacle of European football. Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Ben White could all see the exit door if a suitable offer comes Arsenal's way. Meanwhile, Lewis Skelly and Ethan Nwaneri would require a considerable amount of transfer fee if they want to leave the club. Obviously, not all of these 5 players will definitely be sold, but there is a chance that these players leave the club if there is a suitable offer for them. The report says Arsenal would be looking to get at least a combined £100 million for Nwaneri and Lewis Skelly. And it is obviously clear that those 2 players will inevitably have a lot of suitors. Arsenal would also look at players they can sign to replace a couple of the players they want to sell from this lot, and it would make sense purely for depth purposes. Selling Martinelli would always feel like a move made too soon, considering the amount of talent the player has got, but if the club does decide to sell him, it would be hard to argue against inconsistency as a factor in this conversation. He's still really young, and could still become a great player one day, But maybe Arsenal are looking for safer baits as they edge closer to Premier League greatness for the first time into decades. So, a move for someone like Anthony Gordon, who has a higher floor than Martinelli, would make sense, even if a big chunk of the fan base would not be happy to see Martinelli leave. Jesus and White have struggled with injuries and game time in the last few months, and it would be better for the club to sell them instead of not playing them much and then letting them leave on a free. As for the two youngsters, Arsenal should still keep them around. Obviously, some offers would be worth listening to, but unless they are too good to turn down, the Gunners should try and keep Monterrey and Lewis Skelly. Arsenal extended their lead at the top of the Premier League to 6 points as they secured a dominant 3-0 win over London rivals Fulham. Mikel Arteta made 5 changes to the side that drew 1-1 with Atletico Madrid in midweek. Moles Lewis Skelly came into the midfield, while Ricardo Calafiori, Bukayosaka, Gabriel Jesus, and Leandro Trossard were all brought into the starting lineup. The Gunners made a perfect start as they took the lead inside the opening 10 minutes through Victor Gyökeres. Saka did brilliantly to get past his marker and break into the box to send a low cross in for the sweeter tap-in from close range. The hosts thought they had found a second near the half-hour mark when Trossard crossed in for Calafiori to head past Bernd Leno for his first goal at the Emirates, but it was ruled out as the Italian was deemed to have strayed offside. Arteta's side did double their advantage before the break, though when Gyökeres and Saka linked up for the latter to receive the ball and cut inside before beating Leno with a low strike at the near post. Gyökeres then grabbed his second and his side's third when he ended a quick counter-attacking move with a header on the stroke of half-time. Trossard worked his way into the box to lift a cross in for the Swede to meet and score. The momentum slowed after the break as Gyökeres went close to sealing his first hat-trick, an Arsenal player, but saw his low effort saved by Leno. Fulham found their feet and had a few half-chances come their way, including a volleyed strike by Timothy Costani, but David Raya did well to save. An uneventful second half ended goalless as Arsenal's 3-0 win saw them go 6 points clear of Manchester City at the top of the Premier League table, albeit with 2 extra games played. Here are the Gunners' player ratings from their dominant victory over Fulham. Victor Gyökeres opened the scoring with a poacher's finish from close range. Denied a second by a good Leno save, but did set up Saka shortly after. Made it a brace when he headed in on the stroke of half-time. Almost got the hat-trick, but was denied before being withdrawn.